Hello, this is FG back with you for Anbennar. Today we are picking up with our Jaharian Exemplar campaign. I just played ahead very small. Well, I didn't play ahead. I just let a day pass to fix a few things. Namely, I went ahead and removed the colonists from here, and I went ahead and sent them over here instead. There wasn't that much done, so it's not that much of a waste. But we want to get the Dry Coast colonized, so we can get our missions done and get those buffs. Alright, we also want to make sure that we actually fight against, fight battles against Amion. We are not quite at the amount of mana we need. We're just gonna hang on to that. Our brothers join us. Yes! Alright. Yeah, we take that for the extra production, or tax, sorry. Alright, and we are obviously going to take... We have to take these provinces, and we'll get to hang on to them, which is very nice. And if we can find Amion's armies and beat them enough, then we will get to keep even more land. However, I am significantly less concerned about that, and I just want to go ahead and get the 15 battles done. Alright. Alright, I think this fleet wins, probably. Nope. Alright. Never mind. Suppose we can wait a little bit longer. Alright, mana, 200. Elemental Fury. Bombard it. We're gonna want... Nope, wrong one. We want quantity, because holy mother of God, we want as many men as we can. What does this produce? Incense production. Where is this? Con... 100 ducats? Yeah, sure. Better than losing the stability. Alright, now we should win that. And then we obviously want to go do that. Do any of those count? Oop. Yep. And we'll do that, and then we'll come right here. We'll siege those back down. Our brothers join us. Where is this? Just 100 is fine. Oh yeah, we also need to colonize that. We don't want to colonize any of the provinces with natives, because we don't want to have to spend time fighting them. Just that as a group. Alright. Good. Good. That way. We will go ahead and slacken recruitment to get a little bit extra manpower. So... do I have any spell? I don't think I'd have any spells that would help. Alright. Who wants out? They want out. Alright, we can do that. And then we'll send one there. And then we will take... was I doing... Excellent. These little tiny battles are exactly what we want. Because they count as battles, even though they're really not. And we want to get to 15. And then we want to go occupy that. What was I doing? Yes. They want out. Okay. Okay, consolidate. It's gonna hurt. Alright, Dayon. Get out. Them, to them. Rid of them. Rid of them. Alright. Then we need... where are them? That's 1, 2, 3. I don't care that Narnikar has been sieged down. Fortunately, we last 2,000 men. Lost another 1,000 there. Alright, so we want that. We want the cash. Then we want something like that. Alright, I'm going to quickly pause the recording. Alright, I'm back. Oh, I got to card that. This is trade goods. How many battles do we have? 15. Do I want to try and win 5 more? Problem is I won't be able to take those provinces because I'm trying to take the slave provinces instead. Unless I decided to not take money. Then it would look like that, and then I'd have 400 ducats. And that would allow me to hold on to quite a lot more territory. Let's see. What prop hills shit? Oh well. That is 18. Is it 20 or 25? 20. Alright. We can do that. Then we want to grab that one. Just gonna have to embrace the reputation, unfortunately. Neither the proverbial longevity of the elves, nor swordsmanship or arcane skill honed over centuries to exceptional mastery is a substitute for the legendary immortality of the precursors. Thus, even a legendary battle mage like Ikaris is not exempt from the chilling touch of mortality. But the death of the flesh need not be the end. For the devout champion of Suriel, that there is a way to serve the light even from beyond death's door. The exorcist priests of the Cassipiti are custodians of the most sacred rituals they receive from none other than Sargnir the Phoenix. The foremost servants of Suriel. By swearing a sacred oath, they shall serve the light until their mission is filled. If need be, even beyond death, a holy warrior may bind his inner light, his Ilu, to Saragnir. Should such a warrior perish in the pursuit of duty, his body will be clad in inscripted bronze armor, and the Kazapidi will invoke Saragnir's blessing. If successful, the corpse will instantly ignite into flames, and the warrior spirit will become an Isilgar, one who is in flames, a being of living flames contained and nourished by the armor, who may continue on this plane of existence as long as their mission is not yet fulfilled. And this is what Icarus has long since prepared for. With his untimely demise before the fulfillment of his oath, the exorcist priests have begun the Isilgar rite. And as is to be expected from such a devout servant of Suriel, Icarus will soon be reborn in flames, rising from the ashes of his old existence to serve a holy purpose once again. Alright. Night is... Okay, I think he was supposed to come back. Do that. And we only make 200 men per month, which is not enough. Okay, I don't want him to die. Yeah, one more. Right. 18, 19, 20. It is no wonder that the Dechendi are so afraid of the foreign invaders. Many years before our arrival, an exceptional Keonian elf named Lascars the Conqueror invaded Tachend. His state, Amiens, had made it their mission to bring order to Tachend by enforcing their own culture, philosophy, and governance. Though we share some of the same goals, we are nothing like them in truth. The Anben imperialists must be vanquished for us to truly bring the light to Tachend. Alright, so what we want is all of these provinces, and that is one, and we need this one, trade goods, that, 1, 2, 3, and then money. Alright, Alright, we're gonna have to get rid of this. And then for this, that. Right, these guys can get mothballed. In terms of interest, we are paying a ton. Where's all this money going? Army. Okay. I can fix that. Get rid of one of the cannons. Actually, we can get rid of 2 of the cannons. And then consolidate. How bad is the damage? Alright. I don't know if this will count. It's the main problem. Alright, now we want these guys to come over. Shit. Good. Thought we had transports. Okay, we still need to win 5 battles. Yep. That one. So that is 17. And we can go some 2 here, some 2 here, and right there. Alright, precursor treasures. Shit, I didn't buy that. Fine. The Deer and Hera's reactivation seems to have greatly excited Kiradir Verimzer. His office has begun to produce lists upon lists of potential relic sites within Tagend, ranging from unexplored ruins to entire cities needing to be scoured, and temples and shrines to Tagend's many hero cults also featuring prominently. The Tagendi will not be happy that we are ransacking their temples and ruins, but is for the reasons of, be it for reasons of blasphemy or simple property. But what is their present happiness, deliberation, order, and peace? If it takes scouring our brother's precursor treasures to save them from darkness, then so be it. Alright, so we want... Go ahead and set that peace deal up. Yep. And then these... Like that, and... Okay, we can't take that much. I go up here, and we still need to fight a few more battles. These steel maps of that. Okay, so now we need 2 more. Colonial expansion. Still have a few more to go. Too much to ask him to not die for just until we're done with Tachend. It's not that much, I promise. They have 13,000 men left. Excellent. All right. Do that, and now we go like this. Okay, that's good. That's good. And we want all of these. Alright. Dispel the dark. We have done so much, liberated hundreds of thousands of slaves. Daz and Kion's light-shattering warlord and Kionii armies alike, but reality is beginning to catch up to us. Despite what we have done for them, it is becoming clear that the traditionalist Taichendi absolutely despise us, seeing Ikaris as little more than another Lascaris, dedicated to destroying their way of life. Luckily, not all share this view. Sympathetic or freed slaves, alongside some members of the strange new Orinariu movement, are more than willing to both follow us back to the Dry Coast and pick up our fight back in Taichend respectively. One day, we will be back, but for now we must rest and take back all the brothers we can save. Ikaris strode through the camp, one of his generals by his side. It was a city on the march, his exemplars shining gilded in their armor, mixed with those they had saved. They had done so much, and we can still do more. Harold, you must listen to our counsel, the general pleaded, exasperated. The slaves trade broken, but elsewhere there is rebellion, protest, chaos. We must evacuate. Take our allies with us. We have dispelled the darkness. And when we leave it, we will return. The pair passed Karadir, his mages gathered around him, lists exhausted. Past freemen liberated from Larankar to Nagar Vaishani. Past wounded exemplar and Taichendi alike. How can we abandon them like this? It is not our choice. The Taichendi will eject us regardless. They do not see us for what we are. They call you Eridol reborn. The exemplar is a chain-breaking Gofira. Ikaris was annoyed himself now. I don't know this history. Isn't Gofira a city? And who is not the city, their empire? Sarthal Arendal was its last ruler, went mad trying to keep it together, slew all who opposed him, and intended to keep doing so until he was the last elf alive in Taichend. Finally, the pair had left camp. They looked out at the scene before them. Klimatar still burned in the distance, its inhabitants liberated or dispersed. Where's Clement? Okay, we did actually siege that earlier. I think. The corpses of the defenders still lay outside the wall. Ikaris contemplated the carnage. Herald, you know that we have caused damage here. Yes, for a good cause. Yes, with restraint and reluctance. Yes, by Suriel's grace, but our eyes do not deceive us. Every army we destroy, every city we shatter, every enemy we break, they are souls we could save. When we return, Ikaris did not enjoy killing, yet Rezankand's edge had drawn the blood of elf, of tens of thousands, hundreds, but it had also drawn victory too. Slavery broken, he wondered what Khorne would do. But when he searched his memories, he found not knowledge of feeling, remembered that certainty that followed her, that raw, overpowering hope. He looked to the ash-choked sky, saw a ray of light piercing the clouds. The darkness may be dispelled for but a moment. But for that moment, dawn shone, a glimpse. He saw that hope again, and vowed again that when he returned, it would be made reality. Alright. So... now we do this. And we all march back. And these guys come out to protect trade in the dry coast. How bad is the overextension? Not too terrible. Marina Car's a thing. Alright, that's great. Let's hope they reinforce the right things. And then I will take these, sell them, and we can get 3 cannons, and we will take 2 cavalry. Really, let's change that up. And then we want to turn that down so we can make a little bit of money. That. Alright. And then this one can also get one. That one in charge instead. Turn that off. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of that fort. Get rid of them too, just to save that little bit of extra cash. Go ahead and forward that up. Okay, now we'll turn that off. These guys can get mothballed just for the extra cash. Okay, Vol's Tenvok has revolted. Family's left behind. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let me go ahead and just... they should rise up. When are they gonna rise up? Here. Right here. Troll elves. Okay, that'll be the next place we colonize. After we get these done. Fuck. Alright, that's fine. What is the world looking like? Alizna has grabbed, like, one extra province, I think. Alizna and the Jad Empire should basically be equally matched. Except, of course, the Jad has a lot more manpower. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay, and now we want to build... What else do we need in the capital? Temple, workshop, marketplace, barracks. Temple, workshop, marketplace. Right, we'll put a colonist there. That's a little bit brutal, but they're just a lie. So, basically not even a Ruinborn. Where is this? What do we have here? I mean, I guess that. Got a lot of Calavendi, so we will go ahead and accept them. Right, no more loans, and here I can get barracks. Excellent. We are almost done pouring everything up. Our nation is stable again. Really felt the war exhaustion in that war. You know, sometimes the events will be like, oh, it's so rough, everything's terrible. And then you don't feel it, but yeah, that definitely did not feel great. Okay, we might actually want to get an admin advisor. Do that. We'll study more transmutation. Excellent. Alright. Fortunately, we are going to have to build some stuff here. Fort, barracks. Right. Yeah, sure. We'll sell slaves. Remember, orcs are not elves. Well, at least we don't know that they're not elves at this point. Alright, the City of Light. It is never easy to start anew, building a new home far from the old, but our tireless efforts have borne fruit, and Rezankand has truly earned the title City of Light, becoming a shining beacon of his light on the shores. Its gilded palaces and verdant gardens are equal to those found in our old home back east, a worthy seat of government and the incandescent beacon of light that will drive the darkness from this benighted land. Alright, so we now need a bunch of 10 development provinces. Okay, that one is good. 12 development here, 13 here. 10 development here. We can wait a little while to get that done. Okay. We almost have the entire Severed Coast colonized. Excellent. Harpies down there, always fun. Yeah, we'll start building buildings, places to make some money. Back to grain. Unfortunate. Provincial feud. know, we can run level 1 advisors. Gift to the state, we take the money, of course, to use it to build more production buildings, because, oh boy, we really need that production. Now we're going to focus admin for a while. And then we'll get 4 provinces for free. Alright, Troll Elves. The fell sorcery that caused the cataclysmic rune has not only shattered the lands of Rezankand, but has also twisted the forms of its surviving inhabitants. Beyond the steep hills and forbidding mountains that separate the dry coast from the rest of southern Zinzerkand lies a vast, sweltering expanse of untamed jungle, seemingly left pristine and untouched by civilization of any kind. However, our intrepid explorers have encountered a new kind of rune-born elf that has made their home in the outer reaches of the jungle along the western border of the dry coast. Even if the bodies of the lie, somewhat disparagingly called troll elves for their impressive stature and fearsome strength, may display the dread touch of the ruin more prominently than other ruin-born, but they are nonetheless scions of elvenkind and thus true heirs to Zinzerkand like the rest of us, and contain an inner divine spark just as deserving of receiving Suriel's blessing. Alright, so we're gonna get those 4 for free. I should also probably build up a few more boats. Colonize at least 1 province down there. Nottingham Mirage is still looking huge. How are we doing? 455 development? It's not too bad. Tech trade in the dry coast. Alright, and I would like colonize that as well. Probably build a fort there. Lore magical thesis. Excellent. Alright, so here we want to put a castle. And then we want to build a whole bunch more infrastructure. And then build a couple of those. Oh, we actually improved that province by getting rid of the slaves. Alright. We want trade ideas, definitely. Okay, what's combat with? 27. I can go back to having a better army now. Yep, kill the orcs. $7.65 ducats to 8.08 ducats. Excellent. Eventually, I think Amion will get the Comrade Calls War. Yeah. Where is... Okay, so that's good. That'll be getting done soon. Okay, the capital, or the former capital state won't get it, but that's alright. That. New exemplars. Finishing colonies while having this modifier will grant one military development to each province after completing Land of Sunlight. Alright, just as the old order of exemplars arose from the Cernabi Templars in response to the example set by Jahir and valiantly fought against all manifestations of the malevolent darkness lurking in Bulwark, our new homeland here in Rezankand requires a new kind of exemplar who will tirelessly struggle against the manifold forces of darkness, keeping its inhabitants from experiencing the grace of Suriel's light. They shall be the sword and shield of our realm, protecting not only our own, but all our rune-born brothers and sisters who yearn to be sheltered under his light. Alright. I want to let that get done, and that get done. As well as that. So it'll be a few months before we can take the next mission, but it will be worth it. wine. Great. Trade good. Because if I do this, that will be, what, 4, 8, 12, 16, 19 extra development. Okay, devastation. 94%. Okay. They are behind technologically, but not by too much. Yeah, we're gonna treat our brethren fairly. Alright. We are good. Our people have spread out all along the dry coast, turning what was once an arid wasteland only sparsely inhabited by nomadic runeborn into a prosperous land of proud city-states. While our lands are united in faith, heritage, and purpose, and warded by the ever-vigilant exemplars, our many new towns and cities are free to see to their own affairs. By establishing the Dry Coast League, we have joined the many proud cities of ours together into a loose confederation. Thus we have created a forum to solve conflicts between settlements peacefully, foster further cooperation for the benefit of all, and present a united front to all outsiders, be they ruin-born states to the west or the Kenorian settlers coming from the east. The Dry Coast League. Each new city sprouting like a beautiful desert blossom in the hard soil of the dry coast is a miniature state unto itself, autonomous and almost entirely self-sufficient. Only matters of mutual defense and entreaties with foreign habitation of these lands are left in the capable hands of the Order of Exemplars. However, with each new settlement, the potential for conflict between them increased, a risk that encouraged the governors of different settlements to consider not only the needs of their own domain, but the potential benefits increased cooperation and centralization might bring to all. Thus the Dry Coast League was eventually born, but it was not an easy birth. One of the many points of contention during the negotiations was the question how the power of the League Council should be appointed between the human Bulwari, the Sun Elves, and the Runeborn that chose to live amongst us. While of course all had a seat at the table, in the end it was a delicate balancing act to manage conflicting interests, entitlement, and fears of marginalization. The deciding vote of the Order of Exemplars ended the deadlock that led to the adoption of the following stance. The Runeborn are to be treated like the long-lost family they are. I really need this. Right, Field Spy Network. Do not have Monstrous Conquest on them. Alright. that. Alright. Okay, so with this, we will build a big old trade fleet to protect our interests. And we will also start that, because we will probably need to do it anyways. I think. And do that. Illusion, invisibility. Land of sunlight. Wherever one travels along the dry coast, be it the far west in the shadow of the snow-covered Catalamari and the Sikara Mountains, beyond which the lands of Tachend lie, to the far east, where the imposing Dizenzera Mountains form the very tip of the Lai Peninsula, and the waters of the Radiant Straits swirl along its coastal desert, or inland in the foothills of the rugged Mercata Mountains that keep the north jungles at bay, one encounters the presence of the devout. Pioneering settlements taming the land, prosperous villages tilling the ground, and shining cities full of remarkable artisanry have all been raised from the ground by our people in the name of Suriel. Here, elves, both runeborn and descended from the remnant fleet, as well as humans and harpies, having followed the exemplar's lead and accompanying us from Bolwar all the way to the shores, live in a harmonious and devout existence under his light. It is clear that the time of disjointed city-states, only loosely linked by the Dry Coast League, has passed. Now what in essence has already become one united realm, guided by the gentle but firm hand of the Order of Exemplars, shall formally be united into Rezankand, the land of sunlight. The rosy fingers of the dawn approach from the eastern seas to gently touch the shores of the newborn realm, a realm devoted to the cause of light. With the foundation of Rezankand, the diverse inhabitants of the dry coast, both newcomers from the east and those born in these lands, have demonstrated their unwavering conviction to be the radiant beacon of light on a continent shrouded in darkness, not merely a motley collection of independent statelets, but a strong, unified realm devoted to leading the many inhabitants of Zinzarkand towards his light. A new realm born from the unique blend of Bolwari and Zinzarkandi influence, requiring a faith equally suited for its unique circumstances. Thus, a new council gathering representatives from all the temples of Sar, Arnkos, the devotion to the light, and all holy orders within Rezankand have been called to decide the future of the faith. After many days and nights of vigorous debate between the proponents of many disparate visions for and traditions within the faith, a new set of dogmatic tenets has been agreed upon by the Council of Jeharadin, bringing many autocephalous temples together with a shared doctrine. Firstly, no longer shall chosenhood be considered the birthright of all sun elves. Instead, chosenhood is granted by Suriel to a few exalted individuals, irrespective of their race. These chosen exemplars are tasked with the protecting of the faithful children of Suriel and directing the fight against the malevolent dark. In some ways, this marks a more progressive approach, as chosenhood is no longer contingent upon an individual's racial heritage, but in principle open to all, similar to a belief espoused by the Way of Jadar. It also harkens back to ancient times, where the title of Gumar, or Chosen One, was granted only by those select few who distinguished themselves through legendary feats in service of Suriel. Thus, only those who feel the calling of Suriel and have demonstrated they have been gifted the needed talents of him shall ascend to the rank of exemplars, taking on the burden of devoting their life to the struggle against the dark, and lead the people as paragons of the light. Secondly, all elves, be their sun elves, runeborn, or other, are in truth children of Suriel, just like the Bolwari. Their very essence infused by the sacred Ilu of Suriel, a reward for their centuries of unwavering dedication to the cause of the light. While their unknown creator deity surely has long since perished, slain by the dark like all other gods, by Suriel's grace they are now filled with his light. Alright. So now we form our own country. Yes, please. Alright. And now we can upgrade to Great Temple. The Herald of Light shoulders the heavy burden of rule over all of blessed Rezankand and guiding the faithful in the struggle against the dark. Thus only the most devout servants of Suriel are worthy to be considered for this lofty position. It only follows that the successor of the outgoing Herald of Light should be chosen by a vote amongst our ranks of the Herald of the Holy Order, who have proven their unwavering devotion to the cause of the light. Who amongst the heralds shall be elevated and become the new Herald of Light? The Herald of the Order of Exemplars. Yep, we already read that. Alright. Now we want to summon them, seize land. And then here, let's grant them religious state, privacy, land rights, and then oversight, right of council, this, free enterprise, planning initiatives, and where is it? Do that. Get that. Exemplars. Eventually do that, and all right. Order of Chroniclers. Jaharian statute, obviously. Okay. Now let us take a look at what our light ships actually look like. So they should have like 20 cannons, 16 cannons, 15 hull size. Okay, so they should actually, they're not going to be good in combat, but they won't be like total pushovers, which is very nice. Alright, I think that is where I am going to end this episode. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.